Welcome back to CLE Weekend. You know, March, it is National Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Now, we also know this month there are a lot of temptations to gamble. Joining us are two experts from Recovery Resources. We start with Shona Gorin, President and CEO, and then also Nora Larson, Supervisor of Prevention. Thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Shona, I want to start with you. Let's first talk about what Recovery Resources is.
Thank you so much for asking. Recovery Resources have been serving our community for 70 years this year. We provide a continuum of care and services for those experiencing behavioral health and addiction in our community. We are an affiliate of the Metro Health System, so not only do we connect individuals to care and treatment for their mental illness and addiction, but we also serve them holistically and connect them with primary care and medical care and services through our affiliate partnership with Metro Health. We provide services along in a continuum from prevention, such as some of the work that Nora's teams do in our community, through clinical treatment, so thinking of your counselors, psychiatric services, through individuals when they're further along in their recovery journey to include employment and vocational rehabilitation, housing, all the things someone might need as they continue along their journey of wellness and recovery in the community.
Yeah, there's a lot of programs and services that you just mentioned,
Yes.
a lot of options for people, which we love. Nora, I want you to explain what problem gambling is.
Yes, thank you. So problem gambling, similar to other addictions, is when it becomes a problem overall in your life. So for instance, social gambling or social drinking, a lot of times we think of that as kind of the norm in our culture, kind of surrounding, if you go to a game, there's drinking, gambling, all those things.
Sure.
When it starts to become preoccupied with our life. So if we notice, you know, we're spending too much money, or it's taking over our social life, or you know, maybe we go to our kids' games, or, you know, we don't make it home for our fur babies, all those things that are part of our life that are becoming preoccupied, or we don't have that money to pay bills. That's when it can become a problem. And since gambling does have the highest rate or incidence rate of suicide, it's very important for us to talk about it, because gambling can higher that risk for that potential. So it's so important for us to have that behavioral awareness of problem gambling.
Well, I think it's really good we're talking about this, because I think some of the things that you just said right now are not things that I was aware of. And I think a lot of people sitting at home even may know someone who might be going through something, and they, because of what you just said, might be able to identify some of this stuff. I want you to talk about what the Cuyahoga Problem Gambling Coalition. What is that?
Yes, so that's our coalition through Recovery Resources, and we're very lucky to have funding through the county, and we're able to work with stakeholders in the county as well as out of the county. And since we do have our stakeholders, especially lottery, in the area, we're able to work with programming, we're able to have symposiums, and we're working towards including more and more of that population, especially those in recovery, so we can include them in the conversation of what problem gambling looks like.
Wow. Now, Shona, you know, I know this process, right? For people, there's a lot. In Recovery Resources, you guys give people a lot of options, but you do a lot of awareness work to make sure that people know through different agencies. I know here, other collaborations with casinos, racinos here in town.
Yes, absolutely. And so Nora and her team do a great job in partnering with other colleagues across the community to have tabling events, to raise awareness in a variety of different ways.
So what are some of those ways then that you do that?
So to her point, we start with our resource tables in September and March. So if anyone's out at the racinos or casinos in the area, we have resource tables for about 4 hours in the afternoons, and we're able to provide some items like cups, just kind of to get people to the table, but we have resources, we have for different counties too. So some of our Northeast Ohio partners who maybe are in Lorain or Lake County can bring their resources and put them on the table too, which is nice because not everyone gambling is in Cuyahoga County, but predominantly we're assisting that. We have documentary screenings, and then also in September for Responsible Gaming Education Month, we set up at the racinos and casinos in the area. So really to touch the people where they are and meet them where they are.
Yeah, now I know you mentioned on some of the things, let's say we feel like we have a problem that we may be able to identify within ourselves, but what about family members and friends? Are there signs that they should look out for with a friend that may, or family member that may be going through this, that they can give them some hope and offer them help.
Oh, definitely. So as we kind of think about mirroring other addictions, it's the preoccupation or lying or noticing changes in their patterns of just general behavior. So if someone's very driven, gets to work on time, all of these things, and then we start to notice maybe they're late or they're slacking, or maybe they're not going to work when they normally do, and maybe they are like, hey, I'm gonna go run out to the grocery store and don't come out for 3 hours. They don't have that money to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times it's not always focused on because it's a behavioral addiction. So we can't test for gambling,
Yeah.
but it's looking out for those signs in our family members of behavioral changes, just like we might with our substance.
Yeah. Shona, where can we get more information on recovery resources?
Absolutely. So recovery resources, you can find us at www.rec.res.org. You can also give us a call at 216-431-4131. In addition to all of the services we talked about, we also provide corporate and community education and training through our EAP and our training institute. So really looking holistically at how we serve those who come into our building and how we partner in serving the community, including through our work with our gambling and prevention team.
Wow, that's amazing. And there is a helpline too for
There
people.
is. It's 589-9966. And for those, if we can't remember that phone number, it is nice because in Cleveland, or I should say in Ohio, we have the warm line transfer. So someone, if they are in crisis, they can be transferred directly to a counselor, which is fantastic. But if we don't remember that number, 1-800-GAMBLER can transfer us straight to our gambling hotline in Ohio. So that's always an option.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate it. We'll be right back on CLE Weekend.